Today in this episode, I'm going to prove to you a narcissist is aware of what they have done to you. They're aware of the fact that they have done something terribly wrong. They know they are abusive. Many survivors wonder, does a narcissist intentionally do what they do? Are they aware of the pain they're causing others? Well, they are, and let me tell you how. Hi, I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe because your subscription to the channel helps spread awareness about narcissistic abuse. It is when a narcissist falls ill, they mellow down a little bit. All of a sudden, there is this change in their behavior you notice. They become sweet, not as controlling as they were in the past. Why? Because they know they will need you to take them to the doctors, possibly to the hospital. They need you to get them the medication they need to get well again. But why does this change happen in the first place? Why don't they remain the same person if they thought they were right? Well, they know by being the same asshole to you, you won't give them what they want out of you, which tells us they know that their behavior is unacceptable, that they are doing something wrong by being the way they are. The shapeshifter recognizes the need to change the way they treat you, the way they talk to you. They now all of a sudden listen. They lend a helping hand in everything. They seem to be cooperative, compassionate. And if you are not aware of what's going on, all of this may fool you. You may think, wow, they have hit a realization. Possibly they have now realized how temporary life is and they may lose it all in a nanosecond, and that has woken them up. Of course not. You need to understand that this is one of the many masks they wear. This is another side of the predator who had just calmed down a little bit because they know they need you more than you need them. That's why their voice changes, their behavior changes, they listen, they're compliant, subservient, only to become the same monster they are once they regain their health. Sometimes some narcissists also confess to their wrongdoings. Some of them apologize in the moment. It seems like they do feel some kind of guilt. I have personally experienced that. They may say things like, I think this is all happening to me because I have hurt you and I want to apologize for that. I know I'm struggling because I have done things in the past that I'm not so proud of, but this is who I am. This is a very rare confession you may get from a narcissist, but this is also a possibility. During a low time in their life, it seems like they know something is terribly wrong. Something has happened in the past they should not have done, and it feels like they are repenting for it, only to do it 100 times more when they get better. Every time my father would get sick, he would change his complete nature. He would talk to me as if I'm the only source of his support. He depends on me after depending on God and stuff like that. I can literally remember those words when he caught COVID, the first wave, and the fear of passing away was looming over his head. This is what he told me over a phone call. I may or may not be here. You're the only hope that I have. And after God, I depend on you. It seemed like he had changed and he was feeling all that guilt and he was extremely paranoid. He was listening. He wanted me to be there. He wanted to tap into that compassion that he thinks I have for him and all that. But it was quite interesting for me to observe all of that. For a moment, I was drawn in, but then I took a step back and became objective. I realized that this man does have the capacity to act this way, to be soft, to be respectful, to be compassionate, considerate, and to seek help. He doesn't do it other times because he is so full of himself. He is arrogant. He thinks he depends on no one. But now that he is vulnerable, now that God, universe, has shown him a mirror of his reality, he now comes crawling to all the sources of supply, trying to hold on to them so that he can survive through them. This also was for him. That repentance, that guilt is not actually felt. They feel sorry and pity for themselves. They don't actually feel empathy. They don't feel any connection with you. They don't actually fear losing you. They fear losing themselves. They fear losing their power and their dominion. If they are diagnosed with a chronic condition or a terminal illness that would require them to have a helper on a continuous basis, this change won't look temporary. It might become a permanent part of their nature. They may get suppressed, and don't get fooled if it happens, because I talk with so many people who tell me, now he or she is not that bad. They have softened a little bit. They are not that controlling. Don't let that tell you they have become any better. They will bite you when the time comes. That poison is all within it suppressed because they can't take it out on you, but they will once they just get this delusional perception of getting better. Once they feel they are emerging from the illness, even if they aren't, and once they feel like they don't have to depend on you. So in conclusion, we can say a narcissist knows what they are doing, and they have done some really bad things in the past, because they change or seem to change when they get sick, because they don't have the same power and they need to use you to get well. They know by behaving the original way, they won't be able to use you properly, and you won't give them the supply they need. So they become someone else, which tells us they're aware that being their original way is not acceptable and it's wrong, but they do not care. They just continue being that way only until when something strikes them and they have to change the mask. I would like to know about your experiences. Have you experienced something like this with your narcissist? If yes, let me know in the comments. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.